Hello, and welcome to the third episode of our podcast. This episode will be entitled
Snooze Fest?
The Japan Race. Snooze Fest.
Yeah.
Is that what you think, is it?
Yeah.
Straight in with the hot-hitting opinions. But yeah, okay, let's dive straight in. Oscar,
Yeah.
I think, summed up the whole weekend
Okay.
with a quote in the cool-down room. Spoiler alert. He's in the cool-down room.
Yeah.
And they were basically watching all the highlights and said, that's all the highlights.
Yeah.
That's literally all that happened in the race.
Yeah.
So I think he summed it up pretty well.
He did. And Max was like, literally nothing happened in the race.
Yeah, literally nothing happened.
But did you watch any of the driver interviews post?
Yeah, we love Suzuka. It's like the best track. What?
They were all just like, oh, it's really boring. I was just by myself on that race.
Nah, but at the start of the weekend,
Yeah. Okay. Start of the weekend.
everyone was like, Suzuka man, love Suzuka. Always like the track's really great here. Love the track. It's so good. And then literally at the end of the race, yeah, like you were saying, the press briefing stuff.
They were all,
It was like, yeah, wasn't great.
all of them were like, oh, I was on my own out there.
I was on my own. Nothing really happened. It's a bit boring.
Have you seen, there's a guy on Instagram that does a graphic of what positions everyone's in and they switch.
Yeah.
And it's literally stays the same. There's a couple of different, and then you can see the
Pits.
and then it's just the same, and one or two down the bottom
All the
switch.
same.
I was like, oh my gosh, there was 5 real overtakes or something ridiculous.
That is the state of play
That is the state of play.
at Suzuka.
Yes.
And points for Red Bull.
Points for Red Bull.
Max pulled something out of the bag.
I mean, it was all in qualifying, wasn't it? Really, that qualifying.
Yeah, the race was done in qualifying. Apart from maybe a couple of people who we'll talk about shortly.
Yeah.
But
I do feel like McLaren could have tried something different with they've got 2 cars up there. They could have tried a different strategy with one of them just to see.
the pit strategy was boring.
Yeah.
But it was probably safe.
It was safe, but could they have?
They tried to do a fake pit stop.
Yes.
Which, as the commentary said on Sky, they don't really work anymore.
And it was really early in the race as well. It's no one's pitting now. But
it was slightly too early as well. It was a bit of a weird call.
They could have put one of their drivers out for slightly longer in the odd chance that,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I think McLaren just going through the eeks of being a winning team and comes with strategy, and I don't know, Ferrari all these years later still are bad at strategy.
That is true.
And still shouting up there.
That's true.
Not as much as we heard Alex shouting this week, though.
No, not as much as that.
For his pit stop strategy.
It wasn't even just that. It was literally everything, wasn't it? Something about the shifting.
It wasn't literally chill out, don't pile in on Alex. It was 2 things.
It wasn't literally everything, but yeah.
He wasn't happy with the gear shifting, and he wasn't happy with the pit stop strategy.
Yeah. Did you see his post-race interview? He made me laugh because he was like, it must have been a boring race because apparently my driver radio is a hot topic.
Yeah.
Nothing else to talk about, so we'll talk about that.
Exactly.
But going back to McLaren as well.
Yes.
Do you think that they should have swapped them to try and let Oscar try at Max?
No.
No? Why?
I think twofold. Mm-hmm. Like you've already said, the race was decided in qualifying. Mm-hmm. Lando did better in qualifying, so won the right to be in front over the weekend. Secondly, there was a point in which he did try to overtake. And basically, it looked like discharged all of his battery. to make a move and couldn't do it
On Lando.
on Lando.
Yeah.
So I think I'd never heard a team radio that said you can't.
No, I'm
Try.
not saying should they have not let them fight, but should they have made Lando switch?
I don't like switching.
But I guess your point is if you couldn't overtake Lando.
Like years ago, team orders were not allowed.
Yeah.
I think that's how it should be. Like you race to race.
Race. But I suppose what you're saying is he couldn't overtake Lando, so it would have been the same situation with Max.
Correct.
As well.
Yeah.
I just, in my head, I just kept him picturing saying, let me at him.
But the thing is, when you're driving, you got to back yourself in your own race. Yeah. And Oscar was, well, supposedly being held back because Lando was saving tyres.
Yeah.
I don't know what miraculous tyres he was saving because he
saving them for what?
couldn't gain.
No.
So whether that was just an excuse for the pace, but I don't know. We're digressing anyway.
Sorry.
Back to Monsieur Verstappen.
Yes.
The rightful
winner.
I didn't notice what. I don't think I even remember or noticed what the trophies were.
They were like these weird long stems with a bowl, and then apparently they had like cherry blossoms carved into them, but you couldn't really tell. But yeah, they were like this, like long. And
glazed over that for some reason. Don't know. Must have gone for a wee at the time or something like that.
Something more important.
Definitely something more important.
But yeah, Max's qualifying lap was insane. And he came from nowhere.
He pulled something out of the bag.
Yeah.
Really good.
Q1, Q2, it was McLaren, it was George up there. You didn't really notice where Max was. And then suddenly, last lap, it's like, bam, in the bag.
Bam, bam, bam.
Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the funny clip was Alonso.
Yeah. Oh, that was so good.
If you haven't seen it, go check it out.
Yeah.
Like, basically laughing
Smiling
and being like, only Max can do it.
Yeah.
Like, only Max could have done that.
I feel like if Alonso's saying that,
yeah,
you know, he's been in the game for a long time. He knows what he's talking about.
Yes, he's been in the game for a long time.
Yeah.
So, you know, good on Max, and they seem to have. I think the message was a counter message of stop focusing on the second seat across the weekend, and I'm gonna start developing the car with my engineers, and it's about me and how far I can push the car forward.
I mean, it's always been about Max, hasn't it? People have got sidetracked.
And he's trying to shift the focus, being like, we can win races again.
But what I do like about this, though, because I've always quite liked Max, I think he's a great driver, but especially in 2023, when they were so dominant, everyone was like, well, it's the dominant car. Is Max really that good? I like that he's now showing, yes, I am that good. I'm not in the best car, and look what I can do. Yes. I feel like all the Max haters who were like, oh, he's not very good, it's just the good car. Yeah. He's proving them wrong now, because he's showing just how good he can be. Yeah. Even in a car that's not great. So I like that for him.
We like that for him.
We like that for Max.
Yes, Max. We like that.
Max, Super Max.
We don't hear that one very often. No. Lots of people liking hearing the Dutch national I can't speak Dutch national anthem.
The F1 outro is back.
The F1 outro is back. Yeah, true. On the topic of Red Bull Racing, they are not French. Yuki Tsunoda, hyped himself up coming into this weekend. Yeah. Said the car was easy. Yeah. In the simulator, it was easy. I'm looking for a pole. Yeah. Obviously, what driver is not looking for a pole? Yeah. But I feel like someone in his media team should have been like this, and probably not the best thing to say. Yeah. Coming into this weekend. Especially saying the car's easy to drive. Like, you're asking for trouble. If you don't do well, everyone's like, well, I thought you said it was easy. Yeah. And as the media discussions went, which I actually agreed with this time, is Yuki went safe. Yeah. He went for a setup that was high downforce, put the car, the uncontrollable car, into a controllable position. Yeah. But sacrificed time. Yeah. And sacrificed speed.
Yeah.
And even the McLaren boys are like, the car's hard to control.
Yeah.
But that's just the sacrifice of it being a fast car. Like, to be a fast car, it has to be a live wire, has to be on the edge.
Yeah.
And if you start taking that away, then you're sacrificing that speed.
Because it's a balance, isn't it, between the speed and the aero and the downforce. So
yeah,
if you don't do that, you're losing speed. But he did better than Lawson did in the Red Bull. I mean,
yeah,
it's hard not to. You literally can't do work.
I did feel a bit sorry for Lawson because everyone was like, I feel like internally everyone's willing Lawson to like do a lot better than Yuki.
Yeah,
just to be like,
for the lol.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the second best RB/Red Bull driver was Isaac Hadjar. So when they put him in the Red Bull,
I know. I saw a meme of like them ripping up Yuki's contract and getting Isaac in it to try.
No, but they've said they've given him the rest of the year, didn't they?
Yes, I'm sure Honda have paid lots of money to make sure that they don't.
Apparently, they did pay a lot of money to get him in the Japanese one.
To kick him off.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, none of the media asked questions about how much Honda had to pay them.
I bet they can't say that, can they?
Well, I would ask. Maybe that's one that
you're not a media person.
Get kicked out.
Yeah.
Yes. Speaking of racing bulls.
Yeah.
Going back to the quali session.
Yeah.
Hadjar.
Yeah.
Had a bit of
issues.
Had a bit of issues. You got them too, whatever the song is.
The same song we couldn't sing last week.
Yeah.
Again.
He's got issues.
I've got issues. You've got them too.
Yeah.
Seatbelt issues.
With his nether regions, his ganglies. Gangly gonglies.
That's a horrible
gondolas.
word. Gondolas. Yeah. And I don't know if you were listening to the commentary during quali, but they spent a good few minutes talking about his underpants. I can't remember who it was. One of them was like, oh, maybe he's got the wrong underwear, or maybe he's got boxer shorts instead of tighty whities. And then they're like, no, they have to be special ones, because I didn't know this, but they're fire retardant underwear. So now we know.
So you can't wear lucky underwear?
No, it's got to be fire retardant underwear. So now we all know that. I can't unpicture that.
No, it's funny.
Fire retardant underwear look like?
Probably not that different.
They just got special spray on it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, interestingly, his favourite driver, Lewis Hamilton, is often targeted for having to adjust his nether regions.
So he's just trying to get there, isn't he?
That lots of Instagram reels like to point out is quite is on the larger side of life. I'm going to embarrass you on your own podcast.
Yeah.
Like putting it into place.
Yes.
Not commenting on drivers' nether regions.
No.
Let's not go there.
No.
I'll make you uncomfortable.
Yes.
Maybe another day.
Maybe another day.
No.
I quite like Hadjar though.
Hadjar?
He's quite funny.
Hadjar?
He is. I quite like him. I think he's funny. And did you catch him in the race? So he had all this seatbelt issues, and then in the race, his radio message was, "I've got a new issue unlocked. Now my seat's loose."
Yeah, new issue unlocked.
But I like that. I think I might use that.
It's like an achievement. It's an achievement. New issue unlocked.
New issue. Now I'm just going to say that to myself in my daily life. New issue unlocked.
Yeah, I think it is a thing.
Yeah.
Talking of embarrassing things happening to do with things in your underwear. Carlos Sainz.
Yes. Hopefully not in his underwear.
You may or may not have noticed was missing from the national anthem. The cameras did a good job at not focusing on whatever gap there was. Probably wasn't a gap. They probably squidged it up.
Yeah.
But yes, apparently he was having a medically necessary poo.
I'd love to know how the doctor verified that. Was that in the moment, or?
I hope the doctor was there watching.
Have you ever had an expensive poo?
Verifying.
That is a very expensive poo.
It is an expensive poo.
Do you know how much you got fined?
I do.
How much?
Well, technically it's 20,000 with a suspended 10,000.
Yeah.
But 10,000 for that poem.
Yeah.
Apparently it's more.
It is meant to be.
It's
more.
meant to be more for missing it, but apparently the medical necessity deemed it to be less. But if he offends again, that'd be another 10.
Did you actually read their statement? Because I've got it here.
No.
It made me laugh. So the first bit is, Carlos was missing. We're going to charge him 20,000. So 10,000. It should be 60,000 because of the medical emergency. And then it finishes like this. Notwithstanding the above, displaying respect for the national anthem is a high priority and all parties need to consider every eventuality.
Yeah.
So in other words, you should plan your poos.
Plan
your unwellness.
when you're going to void yourself.
Yeah. Don't get diarrhea and vomiting before a race because we'll fine you.
Did he talk about being unwell though?
I don't know. He got given some medication though. The doctor said.
Like anti-sickness, anti-poo.
Thing, yeah.
What did he have for
I don't know.
lunch? I don't know what time it was over there when they raced.
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock, yeah, lunch. What's he had for lunch?
Yeah. That Williams hospitality man.
Williams hospitality man.
He's used to the Italian food.
James Vowles, you got to sort out. There's too many Greg's sausage rolls. British food in the canteen. There's some more Spanish. Yeah. Oh, I imagine he'll be on a controlled diet.
Yes. Even more controlled now. Poor Carlos.
Even more controlled now. Every race he'll take stool hardness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's very funny. Another funny thing was the only little bit of excitement in the entire race.
Yeah.
Which was Lando trying to undercut Max on the pit exit.
Yeah. I don't know what was going through his brain. I don't know in what scenario that's on.
Over the radio, he was giving it that.
Yeah.
But in the press conference, he was like Max. It was Max's right away, and he didn't have to move over.
There's the game, isn't it? You do.
It is the game.
On the radio, you give it all that. He should have moved. He pushed me off because you're throwing mud and seeing what sticks.
It's like the football equivalent of like rolling around on the floor and touching the wrong place.
Yeah.
That you supposedly got hurt.
Yeah. But I did like Max's joke about it being a lawnmower. He said that joke twice. So.
Yeah, it was it was a question. I think the funniest clip I've seen was a question in FIA after race briefing.
Yeah.
And he was like, what do you think about the incident? And he said, well, Lando recognised that the grass was a bit long in that area. And he cut the grass and now it looks really good.
Yeah, and then Lando jumped on board and he was like, yeah, I didn't even see Max there.
Yeah.
I just wanted to cut the grass.
Very expensive lawnmower.
Yeah. But he'd already said that joke in the cool-down.
He said it in the cool-down.
He said, well, that's an expensive lawnmower.
Yeah.
But I guess only 3 people heard it then, so he wanted
everyone to wanted to repeat it multiple times.
Coming on strong.
Coming on strong.
That was the one big excitement.
For me, Max is becoming more and more like Kimi Räikkönen.
Yeah.
With his just like sarky, clever answers.
Yeah. I think he's always been a bit like that, but maybe he didn't do it as much when he was winning because people really didn't like him, whereas now he's not winning as much. He can be a bit more
maybe
like that. I think if you're winning all the time and you're like that, people are like, oh, he's horrible. Why is he saying that? Whereas it's funny.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Some records have been broken.
Yes, they have. By a young Mr. Antonelli.
Mm-hmm. Only just.
But
he didn't break the record that he was meant to break.
Which is the youngest winner.
Yeah.
But
youngest person leading an F1 race.
Yeah.
But Max, I think most of them. No, maybe not. I think, did Max win that race that he got that on?
I don't know, maybe. But he also got youngest person to hold a fastest lap.
Yes.
And did you see, people think that Max was maybe trying to stop, because Max holds the record. He was 3 days older. Yes. And suddenly at the end of that race, Max sped up. So I think that Max was like, oh no, can't let Kimi get that.
Maybe.
Got to get the fastest
I
lap.
don't think he had anything left in his tyres at that
I
time.
don't think he did. 'Cause he
Like,
didn't get
most times at Suzuka, the leader's like 10,
Yeah.
not 10 seconds, but like there's a big gap.
Yeah.
Whereas it's basically a second the whole way around.
Yeah. Yeah.
So their tyres were gone at the end, I believe. But yes, good on Antonelli.
Yeah.
Sailing into Mercedes well.
He is, yeah.
Putting in some good
Points
times.
every race so far, which is good.
Inconsistent.
Yeah. I feel like his personality is starting to show a bit more as well.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
I guess he's quite young, isn't he? And there's the language barrier.
He's a wee young lad.
Yeah, it must be quite hard when you're that young with all the media attention and stuff. So
I'd take it for £1 million a year or whatever he's on.
I don't know how much he's on. Yeah.
I want your attention. Talk to me, baby. Maybe when it's all the time, it's a bit boring. But
Cameras in your face all the time. You just had a bad race, cameras in your face asking you why that went wrong. It must be annoying.
I think I would take on like a Kimi.
Just don't say anything.
Like, the car was...
Yeah, you can't do that
The
anymore.
car was rubbish. Yeah, let's not go back there.
No.
They haven't reversed that one either.
No.
We've already talked about Alex Albon's radios.
Here we have, yes.
I've also already talked about Hajar and Lawson.
Yeah, but Hajar beat him.
Beating.
Hajar was in 8th.
Yes.
Liam was in 17th.
Yes. Which kind of helps Red Bull's narrative.
That's, yeah.
If Lawson had like suddenly gone
Put it in pole.
beyond
Yeah.
in the RB, some people were like, because of the whole swap thing. I think I heard Matt and Tommy say this actually. Because of the whole swap thing, there's nothing technically to stop them moving drivers around mid-season.
Yeah.
And so Max could just put Max in the RB
I have Matt and
to
Tommy
like
do
try
this.
it out.
Yeah.
Just be like, try it out. And he might be like, well, this is a championship winning car.
But he likes it on the edge, and I don't think the RB's on the edge.
Yeah.
Who knows? That's what's maybes.
Who
The
knows?
conspiracy theory is that he was actually driving an RB. That's why they used the white.
The white livery. Yeah.
Which I don't think is true. but
Crisscross.
there we go. We like our little conspiracy theories over here.
Ooh, why are you yawning?
Oh, down the microphone's well.
I pulled it away.
Cut that bit out.
No, keep it in.
Gracing your ears with a lovely yawn.
It's real.
Yeah. Can we talk about another conspiracy theory from the weekend?
Okay.
Which I quite enjoyed. About Lewis Hamilton's hair. Have you seen this?
What? Unbraided? No?
Yeah, but the conspiracy was, so all weekend, he had a cap and his hood up.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, why is he doing this? And everyone started thinking that he'd cut his hair.
Okay.
Everyone was like, Lewis has cut his hair. Lewis has cut his hair. And then it just turned out that he hadn't braided it.
Yeah.
But like all weekend, cap and thing. I think everyone was getting panicked that he'd cut his hair or something.
You can go there.
He can
He's
cut
had
his
it
hair
very
if he
short in the past.
wants. Yeah, but it looks better with the braids.
Maybe he was trying to rekindle winning Lewis.
Yeah. Well,
Shave it off.
taking a leaf out of Alpine's books, shave your hair, win some time.
Maybe.
Oh my goodness,
Oh,
you're
sorry.
yawning again.
Sorry,
Gracing
I'm
your
so
ears.
sorry.
Shut your ears off.
And last point on the race that's on my device here.
Yeah.
You all voted Yuki
Yeah.
Tsunoda driver of the day,
Very random.
just as sensible as when Antonelli was voted driver of the day last week. Last race.
Do you think it was like moral support, like it's okay, Yuki?
Yeah, and there's Japanese crowd.
Yeah, but the fans voting at home are always the same fans, aren't they?
Yes, but the fans who are awake,
Oh, I see.
watching it live and voting,
Maybe.
are in the Australasia.
Well, there's a conspiracy and a half, isn't there?
What do you mean?
Yuki only got driver of the day because only the Asian fans were voting.
Controversial, but probably slightly true.
I don't know. Do they watch Sky
I don't
Sports
think
over
most
there? Oh,
of
no, it's not
Europe.
Sky
I don't think most of Europe was wake. No, it's an F1 thing.
Sports.
I think.
That's an F1 thing, yeah.
I don't think most of Europe waking up at 6 a.m. to watch Suzuka race.
I didn't.
No. I was going to.
But you didn't.
I didn't, and I'm glad, because I would have been like, oh, that wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
So,
I'd have literally been falling back asleep.
Yeah.
Not just figuratively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to have a quick shout out to Carlos Sainz going on to Sauce?
Yeah. Weird plan.
Just like, we're losing.
Yeah.
And he just had a bad weekend.
He's had a lot of bad weekends in the
Free place grid penalty.
Yeah.
I would say deserved.
Yeah.
He impeded Lewis quite badly.
Yeah.
And then a sneaky poo.
But that was the third time he's been to the stewards, so I don't know what the other time was. So one was for impeding, one was for
Wasn't there in race? Something happened in race.
Maybe.
Between him and Stewart? I don't know. I feel like something happened in race early on.
Maybe. But yeah, he was making best friends with the stewards this week.
Positive.
Yeah.
4 races down.
Yeah.
4 different winners.
That is good for the championship. Although, counterpoint, everyone who started on pole has finished the race first.
Correct.
So there's literally no racing at the front. It's all just falling into line, everybody.
Yes. And I think we're going to be happy that there's 2 Saudi Middle Eastern races coming up with wide tracks where there's a bit more overtaking.
Yeah.
A lot of the flying races, there's just no overtaking.
Yeah. It's because it's an old track, isn't it? And the new cars aren't.
But most tracks, there's just not much space for overtaking. Really.
Yeah. Need to make the car smaller.
Need to make the tracks better.
That's a bit harder.
It is a bit harder.
A bit easier, maybe. I don't know.
So, yep. You put a point here.
Yeah.
Which is your favourite thing from the weekend.
First of all, I wouldn't say that I was disappointed because I didn't see that many cool Japanese hats. Like in the past, there were a few, but in the past there's been
Yuki was doing a bit on Instagram where he was handing out hats.
Oh, really?
And he put one on top of Max Verstappen's racing helmet while he had it on.
That's funny. But normally they've got it's made out of a racing car or it's got the DRS or whatever. There wasn't many of that, but what I did like, and hopefully you've seen it, very cute, Mini Max, Mini Lando and Mini Charles. We'll put a picture. Did you see it? The cute little kids.
Oh, the kids.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the small guys thing on Instagram.
No. The kids dressed as Lando, Max and George with the race suits and the helmets.
I feel like they got that from the guy off Instagram.
Maybe.
Or girl.
But Mini Charles got to meet actual Charles and he signed his helmet. So that's what you got to do.
Favoritism.
This is what I'm thinking. We need to go to a race.
The problem is, it's a thing in F1.
Yeah.
That the parents send their children out with notebooks to go and get signatures.
But this is what we need to do. We need to go to a race. We need to take one of our children dressed up.
I don't know. I'd always like to think that if I was ever met a celebrity, they'd walk a bit away and be like, he was chill. Not like, man, that guy really peed me off.
Yeah, true.
And got in my way.
True.
Because I would get annoyed if I'm trying to go somewhere, do something.
Yeah, but Charles wasn't trying to go somewhere. They arranged him.
They arranged it. Yeah.
Also, did you see the fan that had shaved his head to look like a helmet and met Lewis?
It looked awful.
It did look awful, but he met Lewis
I'm
Hamilton.
sorry. He did.
I'd make my hair look awful to meet one of the drivers.
Yeah.
Your hair will grow back.
Fred from Sir liked it, apparently.
Yeah, Fred saw it and was like, hey, come on. So that was cool. I like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
You put a little note here.
Observation that I've seen. Who is it that makes the winner's hat? Is it Pirelli?
Yes.
Yeah. So last year they were just all black. They've got new hats this year.
I don't think that's true.
There was the odd ones, but the standard ones are all black. Whereas this year there's been a different colour for each race. So in Australia it was green, And then China was red.
What, why, how have you noticed this? Or have you researched it?
No, I've noticed
Or have you watched an Instagram reel?
No, I noticed it.
Okay.
Because in the Australia race, I was like, oh, the hats are green, that's cool. And
Pose for Detective Bethan. Good, I'll put you in I'll do a really bad photo job.
Okay.
Photoshop job or something.
Okay. But yeah, so do you think though, see, this is how boring the race was. This is my question to you. There's 24 races. Is there 24 colour hats, or are they going to reuse some of the same colours?
I hope Pirelli spend more time making better tyres than making stupid hats.
That's why the tyres
that
are
get
so bad.
that get worn once.
And then sprayed with champagne.
Yeah, but to be honest, they stink already at that point.
Yeah, true. True.
I think, the whole thing when they get out of their cars, the winners anyway, they get off and they put their watches on, and there needs to be like a perfume sponsor at that point.
That is a missed opportunity there.
Yeah.
Any sponsored perfume brands out there?
Yeah.
I don't
Why
think
are they
there's
not
any
spraying themselves with some aftershave?
I'd love to
Some
see
of
that.
them have pissed themselves. They
Not
smell
many
of
of them.
sweat.
Yeah.
Some people do.
That is a massive sponsorship opportunity.
Yeah, of
right
course
there.
it is.
Because you've got Louis Vuitton
Smell
now,
of
okay?
racing smell, and we use
Use this perfume.
Lynx
Lynx.
Africa.
Lynx Africa sponsors F1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can sponsor us, Lynx. I'll
Yeah.
use the agent every episode if you pay me money. I do. To be honest, I'm quite cheap. I do a lot of things for money.
Yeah.
So
Let's not go into that.
let's not go. Valtteri Bottas.
Love him.
Love him.
Yeah.
He has become Mercedes reserve driver.
Yeah.
McLaren's reserve driver now.
Yeah.
And also Mercedes social media
Yeah.
personality.
I mean, I'm starting to think this is the only reason they actually got him as a reserve driver. They didn't want him for his driving, but he's hilarious. Have you seen?
It's hilarious.
I mean, he's got loads of funny ones, but my favourite one from this week, have you seen him on the roller coaster? And they've put the fisheye camera on him. And oh my gosh, you have to watch it. It's absolutely hilarious with the fisheye.
To be honest, one of the funnier ones I saw was him going around asking the team their favourite karaoke song.
Yeah. And can you sing it?
Can you sing it?
Yeah.
Everyone said no.
Yeah.
I would like to say, Mercedes, if you're listening, bad effort,
Yeah.
You need to get more of your team on board with these things.
Yeah.
They can't just say no.
Got to start singing.
You got to sing. Come on now.
You can't not sing for Valtteri Bottas.
Exactly. If Valtteri Bottas came to me and said, "What's your favourite karaoke song? Can you sing it?"
Go on then.
Damn right.
What's your favourite karaoke song?
I don't really partake very often,
Yeah.
but I do like a two-part.
Okay.
I think for me, it would be a Grease anthem. Probably like Summer Nights. Summer Lovin', that's the one. Yeah, all right.
then,
That's a bit too much. Not to the tune. Summer loving happens so fast.
Beautiful.
Matter boy. There you go. Not
Yeah.
copyrighted now.
I mean, I thought you were going to say...
Crazy for me.
I thought you were going to say...
Matter girl. Cute as can be.
Beautiful singing.
There you go. Clip that.
I thought you were going to say, I'm not telling you because you're not Valtteri Bottas. But there you go.
Val-
I appreciated the song.
Valtteri Bottas.
Valtteri Bottas.
Also, Mercedes has disappointed me
Why?
because Valtteri's bottom
Yeah.
has been put on hiatus.
Outrageous.
Damn Toto. Too good for bottom.
Yeah.
Bottom.
I mean, his name literally lends it to it, doesn't it?
It does.
There you go.
It does. So, Bethan,
Yes.
do you want to tell us the results from our Drivers' League this week? If you don't know, every week we are spinning a wheel.
Yep.
The wheel.
Real.
And we get given a team.
Yeah.
And we get points from that team that is assigned to us from the previous week.
I mean, I don't really want to say because I'm losing terribly.
Yes.
Because if you didn't watch last week, Scott, for 2 weeks in a row, has spun McLaren
Yes.
So this week, I think you got 33 points.
Yes.
I, the first week, got Alpine and got no points.
Yes.
This week, I got Red Bull, so I'm a bit pleased.
Yeah.
25 points.
So what's my total?
So your total is 85.
How do you know that?
Because I can do maths.
How do you know what I got last week?
52.
How do you know that?
Because I remember.
Jeez. You forget how to like
I can't remember what my phone
do
is.
other things.
Yeah. This is important.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We need to spin again. We're going to Bahrain this week.
Bahrain.
And if you spin McLaren again,
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's jinxed.
Jinxed.
Even though I made the spinner.
Is someone
somehow-
spinning first every time?
No, we've
Oh, we're
alternating. So it's your
alternating.
turn.
Okay.
But I made the spinner, but I'm going to say it's
Okay.
jinxed.
Okay.
Okay, if you spin McLaren.
Le
again.
jinx.
Because it's outrageous behaviour. We need you to get... what's the green team called? Brain.
What's the green team
Steak.
called?
We need to get
Kick
steak.
Steak Sauber, actually.
Or Aston Martin. They don't need to get points either. Either one.
Yeah, Lance Stroll.
Oh,
last.
screen
Has
Yeah.
been last for like the past 3 years. At Suzuka.
Yeah, he's back to his usual form, isn't he?
All right.
Sorry, Lance.
Am I first this
You're
week? am I?
first this week, yeah. And if
Okay.
you get McLaren again, I'm leaving. Just saying.
Okay. Press.
I
Aston
called
Martin.
it.
Right, Alonso, if you're listening, man. If you've been holding back anything,
Now's the time.
now's the time.
Put it in the wall.
No. Bring your A game to Bahrain.
Yeah. That almost rhymed. Not
Bring
really.
your A game to Bahrain game.
Yeah.
No.
Great.
Great.
Game about rain? No. Ignore
No,
me.
not really.
It's like when our son says, "Does that rhyme?" And you're like, "No."
Not really.
Right. Who am I going to get then? I called yours. Who am I going to get?
Don't know. But can you say
Phone is
spin
listening.
so I can audio sync it?
Yeah. The phone is listening. You didn't put anything out into the universe?
I think you're
McLaren.
going to get... Ugh, why is Ferrari brown?
It's
I
red.
think you're going to get Williams.
Okay. I wouldn't be sad. They get points. Not many, but right.
Alex does.
Yo, burn on your favourite driver.
Burn, Carlos. Do better. Stop crapping your pants. Sorry. Stop making enough excuses. Do better. Okay? Don't impede.
Stop crapping your pants.
Basically.
Oh my goodness. Right, on that
I want
note,
to know if that's ever happened before.
what, someone's pooped themselves?
Not generally. But if like someone like we should do some research
Right.
and do next episode come back with like silly reasons that people have missed
Okay.
the national anthem
Yeah.
and
you
how
can
much
find
they
the
got
silly
fined for it.
Okay, let's do that. Right.
Can be the start, the first segment.
First segment, just in case it's a boring room.
Did they crap their pants?
I mean, it would have been worse if he crapped his pants while listening to the national anthem. He's in a white.
Well, that's what someone was like. Someone said, this could be another podcast me listening to again now. Sorry. Probably man told me if it was. Being like, what did you want him to do? Did you want him to like stand there and crap himself?
in a white. But do you think it would have been contained? Because those suits look pretty like watertight.
To be honest, if he's got the nerve and he doesn't get embarrassed, just stand there and absolutely cack yourself. And then be like,
Didn't I
well,
get fined?
you would have fined me, bruv.
Yeah, but let's be honest, that's like 20 quid for them. That amount of money.
Yeah, 10 grand's not nothing though. To stay rich, you can't go crapping 10 grand every
How did you lose your money? I can't
every 5 minutes.
Right. Okay, I'm going to spin. Come on, McLaren. Spin. You are joking me.
Come on.
I put it out into the universe.
Come on.
I only deserve that, really, don't I?
Hulkenberg came something
Kicks
in
elbow.
Suzuka.
I put it out for you and I got it. So that is
Exactly.
called karma, ladies and gentlemen.
Come on.
I don't.
Come on. then something about chameleons.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to stay losing then, aren't I? But hopefully, at least you haven't got McLaren again.
Yes.
Or like Red
the
Bull
point gain will not be
as bad. It might be none. We might just.
There's lots of races to come.
There is lots of races to come. We might just all get.
But like Max, I've got a good head start to the season. Not like this season, but last season.
Last season, yeah. But I think I'm winning the bingo cards. So.
Yes, we need to do like a bingo update.
I can get it up now if you want.
No.
We'll do it another day.
Let's do it as a short.
Okay, we'll do it as a short.
Bingo update short.
Bingo update.
The news. Anyway.
We've banged on far too long.
Banged on?
Yeah.
It's a phrase. If we don't see you again.
Well, that's rude. They're obviously going to come back and listen to us again.
This week.
Yeah.
We'll see you after Bahrain.
Ciao.
Good day.